Hello, hello, good morning.
Good morning, teacher.
Good
Good morning,
morning, how
everyone.
are you?
Good
I'm fine.
morning.
Okay, that's really good, that's really good.
Hello. Hello,
Hello,
good
Miss Laura.
morning.
Good
Hello.
morning, how are you?
I'm fine, and you, teacher?
I'm really good, really good. Thank you so much for asking.
Okay, thank you for asking you.
Okay, welcome everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How's it going?
Morning.
Everything okay? And you?
I'm really good, thank you for asking.
Perfect.
All right, you're ready for your class today?
Yeah,
Yes. Yes, ready.
it's right.
Okay, very good. Let's see, let's just give a minute for everybody else to join. So we're closer to finishing this module. Have you guys been finishing your progress in the platform? You guys finished already the progress in the platform?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, teacher.
Morning, morning, sir. How are
Good
you?
morning.
Fine, fine. Thank you for asking, teacher.
All right. Okay, that's really good, really good. Okay. Okay, very good. Thank you so much for joining the class. All right, we're going to start. Let me see. Very good. Okay. So it's so good to have you here, guys. Thank you so much for joining the class. We're going to start the class today. All right. And today we actually have a lot of practice to do. We have a lot of practice to do. Let me see. Good morning, welcome. Okay, so let me just check something really quick here. All right. So let me see. Today, we are going to introduce a grammar topic that is very interesting, but also very easy, okay? Like it really is not that complicated, okay? So mostly, it's a grammar topic, yes, but at the same time, it's mostly about vocabulary because when it comes to the grammar structures, that's an easy part. But what we really have to pay attention to is the vocabulary, the words that we're going to use, okay? So that, you know, you can understand, para que tenga más sentido what I'm saying. I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you. Give me just one moment. Let me see, let me see. Okay, so what I'm talking about is this. Let me share my screen. Okay, it's loading. All right, there it is. Okay, can you tell me what is the topic for this lesson?
Modal verb.
Modal verbs.
Modal verbs. Okay, question. Do you know what modal verbs are?
Yes,
What are
in my
they?
case.
What are modal verbs?
No. No.
Okay, and
Okay, in my opinion, and modal verbs are the modals that we can use as an auxiliary for making a sentence, and we can express with facility that we want to say.
Okay. All right. Yes, you are correct. Just a little parenthesis, little correction. What is facility?
Oh, sorry, the meaning. Oh, maybe I don't know if that word was the correct in my explanation.
Yeah, don't worry. Yes, I was just
sorry.
I was just making a little correction. Do you remember, guys? I think it was with you, or I don't know if I'm mistaken, but I think it was with you that we were talking about the false cognates, the words that look similar from one language to another, but are not the same, or not? Or did we not talk about that? I mean, it was not a topic. I just mentioned that. No? Okay. Okay, so this, a little parenthesis, okay? Me voy a salir un poquito del tema que vamos a ver ahorita. So this, my friends, what I'm talking about is one of the topics that I find really interesting. Una de esas cosas que a mí se me hacen súper interesting. Es algo que se llama like this, false cognates. All right? False cognates. A veces también se le llama false friends. All right? ¿Qué son los false cognates? Es un ¿cómo se dice? Es un, I forgot the word. Bueno, es algo que se da, ¿verdad? Entre un fenómeno que se da entre idiomas, ¿verdad? En las cuales, no solo entre el español y el inglés, pasa en muchos idiomas, en los cuales, pues, hay palabras que se ven similares. O sea, que vos las ves y vos decís, ¿cómo no va a ser lo mismo? Right? Porque se ven idénticas from Spanish to English. Now, existen los true cognates, true cognates. Como por ejemplo, examples of true cognates are, for example, let me think. Bueno, palabras que son idénticas, like the word no in English, what is in Spanish?
No.
No.
No, right? Words like taxi or bus. What is taxi in Spanish?
Taxi.
Taxi, right? So they are exactly the same. Hay otras que posiblemente no sean iguales, pero son bien similares, como por ejemplo, pensemos, ¿cuál? Let me think. For example, excellent and excelente, correct, excelente, ¿verdad? Examples como por ejemplo, a ver, ¿qué otras se les ocurren? Let me see. Ahorita full vos te pones a pensar en eso y se te escapan todas las ideas. Pero a ver, ¿qué más? Una que sea un true cognate. Podríamos decir, por ejemplo, intelligent, right? And in Spanish, inteligente. So aquí vos decís, ok, this is easy, right? I mean, estos son true cognates, porque son palabras que se ven iguales, ¿verdad? Casi idénticas, cambian solo un par de letritas y significan lo mismo de un idioma al otro. However, animal, animal and animal, correct, right?
Elephant.
Correct. Elephant, elefante, right? Like you can see, o sea, tú puedes tener nulo conocimiento del inglés y vos ves esto y decís, claramente esto es elefante, ¿no? So, estos son true cognates, all right? El problema es que también existen false cognates y por eso se llaman false friends, porque vos decís, ay, qué bueno, esta palabra me lo puso fácil y no, all right? So, y esto pasa en todos los idiomas, es bastante interesante. Por ejemplo, uno de los false cognates más comunes con el que la gente se equivoca más, right, es porque decimos a veces actually, que significa actualmente, right?
Yes.
Actually significa actualmente, right?
In Spanish, yes.
Oh,
No, my friends,
no,
actually
no,
is
no,
not
no.
actualmente.
No, in Spanish, yes, is
De hecho.
is de hecho. O en realidad.
Exactly. So, nosotros creemos, right, que esto es un true cognate porque vos decís, bueno, actually, o sea, lleva actual, y yo sé que las que llevan ly al final son las que terminan con mente, como por ejemplo, easily, fácilmente, right? So, entonces, actualmente, right? Well, not. Unfortunately, no. Este es un false cognate, all right? Actually no significa actualmente, sino significa algo como de hecho, en realidad, etc. Right? And then actualmente in Spanish is in English?
Currently.
Currently, nowadays, something like that. Okay. Another example que también escucho bastante seguido. Let me see. ¿Cuál era? ¿Cuál es otro que I hear all the time? A false cognate. People say,
Teacher, fabric.
yes, correct. Ese es otro. Fabric. Fabric is fábrica in Spanish, right?
Yes.
No, it's
teacher,
not
no,
fábrica in
no.
Spanish. All right.
Factory is
No,
fabrica.
Yeah, factory.
Fábrica in Spanish is factory. Okay. Fabric in Spanish, I mean, fabric from English to Spanish is?
Como tela.
Tela, correct,
Tela.
tela. Like el material para hacer la ropa, tela, fabric. Okay, fábrica is factory. Okay. For example, si yo quiero decir, si yo veo la palabra carpet, esta es una carpeta, ¿no? No. What is carpet?
No.
Folder.
Alfombra.
Es una alfombra, correct.
Alfombra.
And what is carpeta in English?
Folder.
Folder, correct. Exactly, a folder.
Sí.
All right.
Teacher,
Ajá.
disculpe, yo creo que alguien tiene abierto el micrófono y se oye mucha interferencia.
Ok. Ahí está ya se silencia. Thank you.
Gracias, sí.
All right. And so on, right? Hay uno que es como el más común, que se hizo como bien viral por un video, right? Exit is éxito, right?
Yeah,
No.
No,
I know that
Salida.
Es
that is
salida.
that's the
salida.
commercial.
Uh-huh. And then éxito is
Success.
success. All right.
Success.
So, and así hay un montón, right? Entonces, este tema de false cognates is very interesting, right? For example, si alguien me dice, I'm embarrassed. Ah, le voy a felicitar porque está embarazada.
No.
No, right?
No.
No.
Absolutely not. So, those are, you know, words that we have to be very careful with, all right? Porque parecen similares de un idioma a otro, but they are actually very different. No tienen nada que ver, right? So it's a really interesting topic. You can investigate, watch videos. There's a lot of interesting information about it on TikTok, on YouTube, right? And so, la razón por la cual lo mencionaba era porque estábamos pensando en facility. Y de hecho creo que no es la primera vez que lo escuché. Se los iba a corregir un día, pero se me fue por alto. Facility, as in expresar algo con facilidad, right? Facility. ¿Es facility algo así como facilidad? Facilidad is in Spanish, right? No. Facilidad, yes.
Yes.
So, no, facility, de hecho no tiene nada que ver con la palabra fácil in Spanish. De hecho, nosotros sabemos que fácil se dice ¿cómo?
Easy.
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 Easily.
Correct. Easy. So, easily vendría a ser algo como fácilmente, ¿verdad? Con facilidad, easily, right? But facility no tiene nada que ver con la palabra fácil. De hecho, facility es...
Cosas de
Instalación.
yo lo he visto como ajá.
Instalación.
Yes, las instalaciones, instalaciones, right? Como por ejemplo, cuando alguien te dice, debe venir a las instalaciones de tal empresa, right? O de tal lugar. So you have to come to the facilities, right? The facility, yes. Y de hecho es una palabra bastante común que la gente usa en English, right? Like, a veces, qué sé yo, ¿verdad? Si te llaman de alguna empresa, si te llaman de un hospital o algo, y por lo general siempre la gente dice, you need to come to our facilities. All right, so tiene que venir a nuestras instalaciones. All right, so that is facility. Okay, well, anyways, era como un side topic that I wanted to mention. All right, because I find this really interesting. And when you know this, right, we are very aware and we avoid making mistakes, right? So yes. You can investigate the false cognates. Very interesting topic. Okay.
Very important.
Thank you, teacher.
All right.
Thank you, teacher.
But now, closing the parentheses, going back to the actual topic for today. And actually, Luis, thank you. Your explanation was actually really accurate. What are modal verbs? Remember, what are modal verbs? Como nos decía Luis, right? Modal verbs, vamos a ponerlo aquí por escrito. Modal verbs are, les podríamos llamar auxiliary verbs, okay? Why auxiliary verbs? ¿Qué implica que un verbo sea considerado un auxiliary verb? ¿Qué implica que sea un auxiliary verb?
Cuando hay dos verbos.
Exactly. Eso implica que no es el verbo principal de la oración. Es decir, a ley yo voy a tener que usar otro verbo, right? Entonces, las oraciones no las vamos a usar solo con estos verbs porque estos son auxiliaries. So, auxiliary verbs that we use to express a very specific mood or intention in our sentence, okay? So these words, we use them to express a very specific mood or intention. What do I mean with mood or intention? Well, what we have over here, we have modal verbs to express, for example, an ability, right? Modal verbs to express permission, right? Advice, obligation, possibility, all right? So basically, what I'm trying to say is, sin cambiarle nada más a la oración, yo puedo tener el mismo verbo, por ejemplo, digamos un verbo go. Y ese go, según el modal verb que yo use, puede expresar una ability, o permission, or advice, or obligation, right? So for example, if I say, may I go to the bathroom? The verb go is requesting a permission. Necesito autorización. May I go to the bathroom, teacher? Yes, you may go. No, you may not go. Okay. Then if I say, hey, I think you should go to the hospital. Sigue siendo el mismo verbo go, but you should go to the hospital. It's now advice. It's a recommendation, right? And then if your parents, for example, tell you, cuando estábamos chiquitos, right? And your parents used to tell you, you must go to school tomorrow, right? You must go to school. Is that an option? Is that optional? No.
No.
Now it is an obligation, right? So, as you can see, el mismo verbo go cambió primero de ser permission, después recommendation, después obligation, y lo único que cambiamos fue el modal verb, all right? May I go, you should go, and you must go. El mismo verbo go, pero con very different intention, okay? So eso precisamente es lo que modal verbs se encargan de hacer, okay? They express a very specific mood or intention in our sentence. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
Clear.
Okay. Alguien dice que no puede entrar. Ah, ya le mandaron el link. Thank you. All right, vamos a ver si puede entrar. Okay. Ahí está ya. Ya sonó. All right, very good. Thank you, Inda, for sending the link. Luis, you have background noise.
Microphone.
Sorry.
Okay, so let's see. When it comes to the general, you know, the general concept of modal verbs, is it clear what modal verbs are?
Yes.
Yes. Did you all understand what modal verbs are? Everybody? Okay. Now,
Yes,
modal,
teacher.
all right. Modal verbs are very simple, all right? Como les decía, más que todo el tema de modal verbs es más que todo about, sí es un tema de grammar, of course, pero mostly it's about vocabulary, right? Quizás como la complejidad del tema está en recordar los modal verbs y recordar que expresan, right? Because el crear las oraciones en sí es lo más fácil del mundo. They all follow this same structure. Subject, and then the modal verb, and then the verb in the base form, and then the complement, okay? This is how we are always going to make sentences with modal verbs. And we see an example over here. It says, David, the subject, can, the modal verb, speak is the verb in the base form. 3 languages will be the complement. Okay? So they always follow this same structure, all right? There is something very important that I always like to clarify. So an important note over here. We always, emphasis in the word always, use a modal verb, excuse me, a verb in the base form, I mean, after a modal verb, okay? This is something to remember, okay? Because we will always use a verb in the base form after a modal verb. So we will never have a sentence like, David can spoke. All right. No, es que yo quiero decir que él podía cuando antes, en el pasado. So David can spoke. No, this is incorrect. Okay. Hay una manera para expresar eso, ya lo vamos a ver. But the correct form is David can speak. Okay. Pero es que como es David, ¿verdad? Third person singular, entonces era David can speaks. No. Okay. Always the verb in the base form. Or David can speaking. No. David can to speak. No. Only verbs in the base form. Is that clear?
Yes.
Yes, teacher.
yes.
It's clear.
Yes, teacher.
Okay. All right. So that's basically how we create sentences with modal verbs. Okay. Now, let's see what modal verbs we have over here. Estos no son todos los modal verbs that exist. Okay. Pero son los más comunes que vamos a utilizar. So, the first type is for ability. Okay, when you want to express an ability that you have, a talent, a skill, all right? We can use two modal verbs. What is the pronunciation for the first one?
Can.
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 Can. And the pronunciation for the second one?
Could.
Cool.
Cold.
Could.
Could.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
Listen. The pronunciation is could.
Cold.
Could. The
Could.
letter L is silent. Okay.
Could.
Cold.
Silent. Could.
Could.
Cold.
What is the difference between using can and using could? Can is for abilities in the present, right now, and could is for abilities in the
Past.
past. Okay, so both of them express ability, but can is for abilities now in the present. Could is for abilities in the past. Okay, so for example, can you help us reading Ruth, the first sentence?
David can speak three languages. David can speak 3 languages.
Okay, that is an ability that David has right now in the present. David can speak 3 languages. Okay. And what is the second example, please, Roxana?
He could speak fluent French when he was 5.
Thank you. He could speak fluent French when he was 5. So this is an ability that he had in the past when he was 5. Okay. So talking about abilities, right? In the present, we use can. In the past, we use could. All right. Can you express an ability that you have right now? For example, I can tell you, well, I can speak English. All right. That's an ability. And we can speak English, all of us. But what about you? Do you have an ability?
Can paint.
Well, I can dance.
Oh, wait. Gerardo, you said you can dance? Okay.
Yes.
And then Jancy, I think you were speaking, but I couldn't understand what you said.
Can paint. The paint, pintar.
Oh, I can paint.
Yeah.
Okay, you can paint. Good job, all right. Anyone else?
I can drive.
You can drive. Uh-huh.
I can swim.
You can swim. Okay. Now think about an ability that you had when you were little, when you were young, when you were a kid. For example, I could tell you, well, when I was a kid, I could solve math problems very easily. And now I don't think I can anymore. I don't even remember those things. So what about you? What are some abilities that you have in the past? Mm-hmm.
Same thing.
The same thing.
Yeah.
Okay. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you lost that ability, right? It could be something that you learned when you were little and you still have it. Like, for example, in this case, right, we said that David could speak fluent French when he was 5. And now also he speaks French, right? So yeah.
Mhm.
What about you? An ability that you had in the past?
Well, I could play football, soccer.
You could play soccer, okay. Anyone else? Nope, no one else?
I could swim.
You could swim, okay. All right. Well, whenever you
bake.
could what?
I could bake.
Bake, all right.
Yeah, pizza and something like that.
All right, that's nice, that's nice. Okay, there you go. So whenever you want to express abilities, either in the present or in the past, we use can or could, okay? By the way, I mean, also we can make negative and question sentences, right? I forgot to write that over here because we can talk about abilities that we don't have, right? And we can say, I cannot speak Japanese, for example, right? I cannot speak Japanese. Or we can also ask a question. Can you speak French? Right? Can you swim very well? All right.
No, I can't.
No, you can't. All right. Can your parents, what? Can your parents drive? Right? So for positives, negatives, and questions. All right. Good. Questions about using can or could for ability?
No.
No.
No?
No, teacher.
Okay. The next one, by the way, you will see here in this picture that some of them will repeat, right? And the reason why some of them repeat, for example, can and could, they are also here, is because modal verbs can have more than one application, right? For example, can and could, we use them for ability, but also we will use them for what?
Permission.
For permission and for
Permission.
Possibility.
possibility. Okay, so talking about permission, when you want permission, when you want authorization to do something, you can use these modal verbs. Can, could, and
May.
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 All right. Now, I do have to say something because yes, it's possible that we use can and could. It's totally fine y la gente lo hace todo el tiempo. However, si nos ponemos como un poquito más picky when it comes to the grammar y queremos ser lo más aplicados posible to grammar, the most appropriate is may. Because may literalmente, o sea, may literalmente fue hecho specifically for permission. Okay. So, can you read the examples, Gerson?
Okay, teacher. Can I sit in that chair, please?
Continue.
Could I open the window?
Mhm.
May I borrow your dictionary?
Correct. Of course, because we are asking for permission, most of the time it's going to be a question, right? But that doesn't mean que puedo usarlo solo in questions. Of course not. In fact, when I ask for permission, la otra persona, Ale, me va a responder with either with a positive or negative sentence. All right. May I borrow your dictionary? Yes, you may. All right. You may. You may borrow my dictionary. Or, sorry, no, you may not right now because I'm using it, right? For example, okay? So it's possible, obviously, to do it positive, negative, but if we are asking for permission, the majority of the times we use questions, okay? So for example, what is, imagine if you are in a class, what are some questions that you can ask for permission in class?
You say before, may I go to the bathroom?
Ajá, that's the most common one, right? Y siempre en clases de inglés
Yes.
aprendemos el día número 1. May I go to the bathroom? All
Yeah.
right.
And may I help you?
May I help
Doctor.
you? Ajá, yeah, correct. May I help you? Any other example?
May I turn off my camera?
Ajá, may I turn off my camera? Okay. For example, when you were little, when you were a kid, what things did you ask for permission to your parents?
May I go out to play?
Ajá, may I go out to play? Correct. What else?
May I take other piece of cake?
May I take another piece of cake? All right. What did you say? I'm sorry, Luis, I think.
May I go to the party?
Oh, okay, wasn't Luis. May I go to the party? Yes, who was speaking? I didn't see you. Oh, Gerardo, right? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Correct. Okay. So every time you want to ask or give or deny permission, you can use can, could, or may. All right. Questions?
Teacher,
Yes, sir.
may is formal use, so.
I mean, yeah, it's the most formal of the three, but I would say that may, you can use it in any situation. I mean, let's see, let me rewind that. The three of them, you can use them in any situation, right? Like it's not like can and could are super informal, right? They are all formal, they are all okay. But if you want to be like more true to the grammar and respect grammar as much as possible, may is the most appropriate option. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Okay. And let's move on to the next one. All right. The next one is to give advice. All right. Recommendations, suggestions. Okay. How do we pronounce it?
Should.
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 Correct. Al igual que could, the letter L is silent. So this is should. Okay, should. So whenever you use should, what you're saying to the other person is, listen, I think this would be a good idea, but it's your decision, right? The other person will decide if they follow or not your recommendation. You're saying, I think this is a good idea. This is what you should do, but it's your decision at the end. So we have examples. Read them for us, please. Douglas.
I'm sorry, hello.
Hello, go ahead.
Which one? I'm sorry, I'm working.
Read the examples.
For which types?
For should.
You should visit your dentist at least twice a year, or you should try to lose weight.
Okay, repeat with me, Douglas. You should visit.
You should visit
your dentist.
Your dentist.
At least twice a year.
At least twice a year.
You should try to lose weight.
You should try to lose weight.
Okay, there you go. All right. So, for example, guys, let me give you a situation. Imagine that I tell you guys, I feel bad. I have, you know, a flu. I have a headache. I have fever. What would you recommend me to do?
You should take a pill.
You should take a pill. What
You
else?
should go to the doctor.
You should go to the doctor. What else?
You should drink tea.
You should drink some tea. Something else?
You should rest at least one day.
All right, you should rest one day. Okay. Whoa. Okay. I don't know what that noise was. All right, give me just one moment. Let me just go check. Okay, hello guys, I'm back. I really don't know what that noise was. I was checking, there's nothing. Okay. All right. So I was saying, right? Another situation. Imagine if I tell you that, okay, I want to improve my English. I want to have a better English. What would you recommend me?
Well, you should practice your grammar.
Okay.
You should read a book in English.
Correct. Okay. Somebody else?
You should practice at least 1 hour per day.
You should practice at least 1 hour a day. Okay. Any other recommendation?
You should use some apps to improve your English.
You should use some apps to improve your English. All right. Okay. There you go. All right. Those are examples of recommendations using should. Okay. Questions about that?
Not in my case, teacher.
Not in your case. Okay. All right. Let's see. Before we continue, before I forget, I would like to take the screenshot for today. Can I stop sharing? I'm asking because this will disappear. So if you already took a picture, screenshot, I'll stop sharing. Ready?
Yes, yes, teacher. Thank you.
Okay, okay. So help me please with your camera so we can all look good in the picture. Give me one moment here.
No te hablaron, amor. Sorry.
That's okay, no problem. Okay, cameras on, everybody. Let me see, let me come closer. One moment. Thank you guys, I already got it. Okay. All right, now listen, there is something that I needed to tell you, pay attention. Today, because of a personal affair that I need to go and take care of, you know, we're gonna be finishing a little earlier than usual, okay? Because I need to be somewhere at specifically yes before noon. So I'm gonna need a little bit more time. So we're gonna finish a little earlier today, but we're gonna have to recover these minutes in future classes, okay? So I will let you know, maybe on Monday, we're gonna have like 10 minutes extra or something, all right? So we can practice more. So just letting you know.
Okay.
Okay, so going back to the class, we're just missing two. We're just missing two. So we have for obligations, okay? So remember, this was a recommendation. This was, I think this is a good idea, but it's your decision if you take it or not. But in here, this is not optional anymore, all right? This is a rule, this is an obligation, this is a prohibition, for example, if it's negative, okay? For that, we're gonna use must, okay? And also have to. Now, here we're gonna make a clarification. When it comes to have to, pasa algo. Que have to, casi siempre, si vos investigas, about the modal verbs, si nos ponemos a ver videos, casi siempre aparece have to ahí junto con los modal verbs, right? But lo que sucede es que have to, it's actually an intruder, right? Está ahí como intruso, está ahí como me colé, pero ajá, vea. Because have to, we use it as modal verbs porque funciona mucho como un modal verb. But in reality, si nos ponemos a analizar todos los factores gramaticales que implica, have to realmente it's not a modal verb como tal, right? So, ¿qué es lo que pasa? Que have to es como entre sí y no, right? Porque lo vamos a utilizar siempre kind of like an auxiliary verb, pero realmente it's not an auxiliary verb, right? Y, o sea, ¿qué tiene que ver eso entonces? Well, ¿se acuerdan cuál era la regla de subject, modal verb, and then complement? Y luego, ¿cómo era en negativo dijimos? Subject.
Modal verb, not.
Complement.
In negative.
Not.
Verb and complement. Y el otro era modal verb, subject, verb, complement.
And complement.
Okay.
Complement.
So as you might remember, esta era la estructura que dijimos, and it works for all of them. But it doesn't work for have to. Okay. It doesn't work for have to. All right. Because have to como te repito, it's not really a modal verb. It doesn't follow necessarily this structure. Si hacemos una sentence in positive, vamos a decir, bueno, pero es casi lo mismo, ¿no? Porque it's you, y luego está have to, y luego está el verb in the base form, y luego el complement. Ahí es como que, ok, no se nota tanto, right? Even though ya el hecho de que exista to ya es diferente a todos los demás, porque decíamos con todos los demás el puro verb in the base form, right? However, ya cuando lo queremos poner en negative, ahí ya la cosa se ve super different. Because it's not okay to say you have to not go, for example. This is not something that we normally say, you have to not go. No. Normally, what would you say? It's not you have to not go. How would you make this negative?
You don't go.
You don't
Go.
and have to?
You don't have to go.
Exactly. You don't have to go, right? So in here, we are adding the auxiliary for simple present don't, which nunca agregamos para ningún otro modal verb, right? So why? Because como te dije hace un momento, have realmente, it's not an auxiliary verb. This is the main verb of the sentence, right? This would be part of the complement, right? But como la aplicación del verbo es bastante similar a los modal verbs, lo agrupamos acá, aunque realmente gramaticalmente hablando, it's not really a modal verb, right? De hecho, si yo quiero, lo puedo poner in past. You had to do your homework. It's in past now. Y eso no puedo hacerlo con los demás, right? If I want to make it a question, did I have to do my homework? I have an auxiliary for the past, right? Which I don't need in the others. Okay? So have to, even though funciona como un modal verb muchas veces, o sea, el significado es bastante similar, es casi lo mismo que must, but in reality, it's not a modal verb. So, lo vamos a usar siguiendo las reglas de los tiempos gramaticales normales, all right? For simple present, auxiliary do, does. For simple past, auxiliary did, future will, etc. Is it clear?
Yes, teacher, it's clear.
Okay. Laura, can you help us reading the examples? I must
memorize all of these rollers about dances. You have to take off your, excuse me?
Go ahead, continue.
Okay. You have to take off your shoes before you get in for the mosque.
Into the mosque.
Into the mosque.
Okay, repeat. Rules about tenses.
Rule about tenses.
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 Yes, plural.
Rule
tenses.
about tenses.
Okay. So this is not optional, right? This is an obligation. I must memorize all of these rules, right? You have to take off your shoes before you get into the mosque, all right? What are some rules, for example, that we have in this class?
The camera on.
Sorry, repeat.
The camera on.
Okay, but can you give me a sentence with must, for example?
Must.
Subject.
Camera. Me.
No, me is not a subject. Yes.
I must open or
You can use, for example, turn on, activate.
turn out, turn on. Okay, I must turn on
Turn
the camera.
on.
Turn on the camera.
Okay. I
in the
must.
class.
Uh-huh. I must turn on my
I
camera
must
in
turn
class.
on my camera in class.
Correct. Okay. Que vemos porque algunos no siguen ese rule. Okay.
No
What
entienden.
is another rule? Another rule?
Participate in class.
Can you say it again, Jency?
I must participate in class.
Correct. I must participate in class. Okay. Something else?
I must
I
work in the
must send my
platform.
homework.
Okay, wait. I have two people speaking at the same time. Who was speaking? It was Dora, and who was the other person?
Me, teacher.
Who said me? Ruth, right? Okay, what did you say, Ruth?
Yes. I must send my homework.
You must send your homework. Okay, and Dora?
I must work in the platform.
I must work in the platform. Correct. All right. So again, this is for obligation. This is not optional. Must and have to. Okay. Questions?
No.
No. Okay,
No.
and we finish. This is the last one. Possibility. Okay. Wait. For possibility, all right. Basically, what we're saying is this will probably happen, right? We can use might, may, could, or can. I like to express it in this way, porque siempre es como, what is the difference entre usar might, may, could, or can? Well, there is a difference, yes, right? And the difference depends on how certain you are, right? How certain you are that something will happen, all right? ¿Cuánta certeza tengo, okay, de que algo vaya a pasar? So, for possibility, we're gonna put can más o menos around here, okay? For example, we can use could around here, right? May around here, and might around here, okay? So this is basically the scale on how certain we are, okay, de que algo vaya o no vaya a suceder, right? So, de eso dependería qué model verb decidamos utilizar, right? So, si lo que yo quiero expresar es que realmente las posibilidades son bastante bajas, right? So in that case, I can use might. So for example, right? Si alguien me dice, hey, do you want to go to the party, right? It's gonna be tomorrow. And I know that I feel really tired. I have a lot of work to do. And, you know, yeah, I mean, posiblemente, but most likely, no, right? So I will say, well, I'll think about it. I might go, but I'm not sure, right? So I might go. So yes, there is a small possibility, but I'm not sure because I have a lot of things to do. I am tired, etc. Right?
We use when uncertain, no? Maybe yes, no.
Es más no que yes, for example, but it's not 0%, right? Yes. Okay. Very good. So, we have examples. Can you read the examples for us? Let me see. Marlene, it looks.
Yes, teacher.
Can you read the example? It looks nice.
It looks nice, but it may be very expensive.
Okay,
Please.
I'm sorry. Before we continue, Marlene, everybody repeat with me. Might Okay,
Might.
everybody. Might,
Might.
Might,
may,
may,
could,
Could,
can.
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 Okay. So one more time, Marlene. It looks nice.
It looks nice, but it mm,
Se le olvidó. How do we say it, guys?
Made.
No. Oh
no,
my gosh,
Might.
guys.
no, may no.
Might.
Might. It look nice, but
Might.
it
Might be,
might.
it look nice, but it might
It might.
Uh-huh.
very expensive.
It might be very expensive. Okay, and the next one?
Richard may coming to see us tomorrow.
Correct. Richard may be coming to see us tomorrow. Okay, there you go. So for possibilities, we can use might, may, could, and can. Questions?
Only one.
Okay, Jancy, I don't know why we cannot hear you. Go closer to your microphone.
For the could and can, you
Mhm.
said use with can for present and could for past, but it's no in permission and advice and another model, no? Only the
That is
ability.
only for ability, correct.
All right, all
Mhm.
right.
That is only
That's-
for ability. Uh-huh.
Okay, thank you. That's it.
All right. Okay. Any other question? More questions, more questions.
Teacher,
Yes, sir.
we can use might instead of may. Sometimes if we can say something and we want to hear us a little bit, I don't know, how do you say fino or refinado?
More fancy.
Yeah, more fancy. Because if you use could instead of can, in sometimes, for example, could you borrow? No, could you take that, or could you bring me that book, for example?
Yeah, exactly. Yes. In that case, it does sound a little bit more polite because you are requesting, you're asking for a favor, for example. But I would say that mostly the biggest difference between using may and might in can and could is, as I told you, how certain you are about something happening or not. That's perhaps like the biggest difference between using those modal verbs.
Okay.
Okay. Any other question? Okay, let's do something.
Teacher.
Yes.
The modal verb had better is in the group of the modals most common.
It is common. It is common, yeah. But it's for very specific situations, right? That's kind of like a very specific situation. But yeah, it is very common. Okay. I'm sorry, I just turned on turned off my camera because I just stood up from the computer. Let me see. let me see. We're gonna do something. I'm going to send you right now this picture so that you can have it with you. And I'm going to give you right now around 5 minutes so you can try to make examples, write sentences with each of these modal verbs, okay? And then we're gonna check some of them. So over here, we're not gonna move to groups because we really don't have much time left. We're gonna finish in 5 minutes, okay? So we're gonna stay here, just write a couple of sentences. I'm gonna be here in silence. And if you need any help, you can ask.
One sentence?
One sentence for each.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, I don't think we'll finish, right? But at least as many as you can.
Right.
All right. Did you write some examples? Yep. Okay, listen, we're gonna do something because as I told you, we're gonna be finishing early right now. So we're gonna finish today. We're gonna finish here for today. And next class on Monday, we will continue with this topic. Sounds good?
Okay, teacher, don't worry.
Perfect.
Okay,
Thank you so much,
don't
guys.
worry.
I will see
Okay.
you then on Monday, okay?
Have a nice
Okay,
weekend.
teacher.
Thank you,
Yes,
sir.
thank you,
Enjoy the weekend,
teacher. See you on
everybody.
Monday.
Bye-bye.
Teacher,
Bye,
bye-bye.
teacher.
Take
Have a
care.
nice weekend.
Bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.